Okay, here's that the question I wanted to look at. It sort of just didn't want to turn up in the last video. But that's good because at least we have two different videos so we can focus on the question a bit more. This question is from your textbook. And this question looks, if you like, at it's called contentious issue. I think that's the same heading in your textbook. But it looks at the development of a product. And it says here that this is the development phase. And it cost us 20 million. And what we have here is we make 1 million units in the first year, 5 million in the second year, 10 million in the third year, and 4 million in the fourth year. And this is the production cost per unit in each of these years. So you can see that things can change over the period from launch to growth to maturity to decline. In terms of, I would probably have expected production costs to keep falling, but for some strange reason it's higher here. Maybe just a lot of people are going to the market, suppliers are slightly more powerful. The marketing costs definitely are falling. You can see that you spent a lot of marketing definitely in the launch and in growth. So the argument really is about getting all these costs. So the question is, life cycle costing is sort of saying, well, let's get the total cost, if you like, the full cost of making all these items over the 4 years, and then find an average. So the issue here is that the manager is thinking that, oh, you know what, this is what I want to do. He's saying, well, this is what I'm going to do. It's cost us 5 million. Sorry, it's 20 million to do the development. Over 4 years, I'm going to amortize, if you like, or depreciate. So I'm going to say this is a depreciation cost of 5 million. I'm going to pick the marketing cost for the first year because he's in the period. He's looking at this period alone. And then he says, well, these are the production costs of 1 million. And so he's arrived at 11 million. And he said that, well, there's 1 million, and if you like, there's 1 million units. And so he's put it at £11. So you can see what he's done automatically is to ignore the next 3 years. And that's this is a kind of a classic way people do this. They sort of think, okay, you know what, let's just focus on the first year. But life cycle costing says, no, we need to think about what's happening over the life of the product. The problems here are quite a few. If you go in at £11, you're probably going in too high, just because you're trying to cover this high marketing cost, and definitely this R&D over 4 years. Okay, because typically you can only really amortize over the life of the product, which is 4 years. And in of itself, it's not crazy. It's not useless. It's not a bad idea. It's one way of doing it. But life cycle costing says, let's just be a bit more practical. So what are we doing? Life cycle costing says, let's go to the answers here. I can go here. Alright, so life cycle costing says, okay, you see that 20 million? You've got that 20 million. That's fine. The total marketing costs, we have the 5 plus the 4 plus the 3 plus the 0.9, giving us 12.9. Production cost, we have 1 million units times a million. Let's quickly go back and see where these figures have come from, so you know where I am. So you can see volume 1, 5, 10, 4. That's the volume. 5 million times 9, 90p, 10 million times 80p, and 4 million times 90p. So you have 17.1 million, as in the cost over the 4 years. And this is the life cycle, the total life cycle cost by adding all these 3 items together. And we know how many units we produced: 1 million plus 5 million plus 10 plus 4 over the 4 years. 20 million, giving you an average cost of £2.50. So at least you know what the average cost is of £2.50. Then you can start thinking about what price. I think in that question someone was suggesting a price of 8, and 8 is fine. You're still making a profit. 11 is much higher. So you can see at least you know what the range is, you know what this is, and then you can make your decisions based on that. So again, life cycle costing is very much about saying, let's look at the life let's look at the costs over the life of the project and find an average and then make decisions from there. Okay, great stuff. That's the end of life cycle costing. So you should be able to do the questions in the book now, and we'll do some more in class anyway. Thank you. Bye-bye.